Well, Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital teaming up with St. Louis Health today in an effort to make sure critical medical equipment ends up in the hands of those that need it and not in the landfill. St. Louis Health, which stands for Health Equipment Lending Program, collects medical equipment for children and adults, holding multiple donation events each year. Today's event centered on families donating equipment their children with various disabilities have grown out of. The group's executive director says many times children with disabilities are in need of multiple pieces of equipment to go to school or even sit at a dinner table. Insurance does not always cover their needs, and that's where they step in.
We want to encourage everybody to not throw away or leave their home medical equipment, the walkers and wheelchairs, the pediatric equipment, just gathering dust in your garage. Instead, help a neighbor and donate it.
Planter Tales first tour for STL Health collected 10,000 pieces of equipment last year, keeping $2 million worth of critical equipment out of landfills.